Welcome back, guys. So we're about to update you guys on Peter's bike, his engine. Gonna do new transmission, new piston and ring, new shifter shaft, and a new front sprocket. So let's get started. Open up our gearbox. Boom, we got that shaft. It's gonna be our piston. Big shout out to T-Bolt USA for hooking it up. I don't know if you guys can see that in there, but really easy to work with those guys. I'm not sponsored by them at all or anything like that, but I didn't know what parts to get. I didn't know the piston size. I didn't know the gears or anything like that. I just sent them an email, told them what I have going on, and kind of the parts that I need, and they sent me links to everything. So super easy to work with them. The one thing right now doesn't match too well is these right here. This is the length difference, which I don't really think is going to be a problem. It's just going to have a little bit of a shorter piece sticking out, and we might just have to get a shifter that will kind of bend out a little bit, but we'll see. We'll try to put this in, and if it's not sticking out enough, then we'll just have to order the correct one. This is actually for a PIRANHA 140, and they said that it would be interchangeable. Matches. Yes, I think it does. Boom, look here. It's all ready for us. Put that like so. Then we got the bearing. That's gonna go right there. We got that all cleaned up. We got this case half cleaned up. We're not gonna forget to put assembly lube everywhere. You gotta make sure that this is the right size. So I measured this shaft, this one, and it's not the right size. But this is a 15.96. This one's a 14.96. Alright, so I took apart that thing, whatever this is called, part of the transmission. And now we're going to put it back. First gear, washer. It's like a special kind of washer. And you got this. This guy right here. Then we put this one in. Then we got another one of these little things, just like so. Another washer. Then we got this gear. Then we got this gear, washer, one of these bad boys. This gear. This washer. Boom. We are back in business. We're putting this back on. I'm gonna cut it right here. I don't want to do it with one hand, but basically cut this little metal piece off. Yeah, so I don't really know where the bolts go, but I'm gonna put them all in. Just kind of make sure they're not sticking out too much, not too little. Put that back in, put the shift fork back in. Should work just fine. Sticks out pretty good. Shouldn't be a problem. Got the new piston. We put the small rings, the oil ring, this curvy one, and the two small rings in between it. And then this ring is gonna go next. It's gonna be going right there. And this ring is gonna go on top, and it says 1 on it, 2 on it, and then the oil rings are the third ones. And that's the order we're gonna do. Then we're gonna put it on like this. IN for intake is gonna be facing up. We already oiled up the holes in here, and we're gonna put those pins in. Piston installed. Now we're gonna make sure that this timing chain is sitting on the sprocket, because right now it's not. So the gasket is, both of them are like a metal. The one that goes here first, you can kind of tell that it has 2 holes right here and right there, and that's the one that's going to go in first. Got that put in, everything good to go there. Now we're going to clean this off a little bit. That's ready to go. This surface is clean, so that's ready to go. Boom, time to put the head on. Now we gotta put these bad boys on. Then we'll get these guys tightened up. I don't want it to throw the head off of balance to this side, since it's only 2 bolts on this side. So we're gonna actually put the head studs in before we tighten that up. Don't forget copper washers. I don't know the torque spec, but I'm gonna put it to about 35 foot-pounds. I tried to do the little decompression trick on here and like double on the spring, but the spring is not working. Every time I do it, it slips right off every time I push it down a little bit. So that's not gonna work, but we're about to put this cover on. I've jumped a little ahead. I had to take this off and basically loosen all the tension, which is take it off and you push this little thing on the inside, push the tension up, and then once I set the timing and everything, I put this back in, and then I just lightly pushed it down with a screwdriver, and then I felt the tension of the timing chain to make sure it wasn't too tight, because it was way too tight earlier. I put that back on and put this gasket on, put the whole starter back on. I'll let Peter decide whether he wants to take it off or not. Put the little sprocket there. I'm not gonna put, like I pulled the wire off of it, I'm not gonna put the chain back on, or this chain, I think it's chain guide or whatever it is, this. I'm not gonna put any of that stuff on. Just gonna keep it simple like this, because I know Peter doesn't want to really use the starter anyway. So yeah, now I just gotta put the cover on, and this engine is ready to be put in the bike. So as you can see, we went backwards, took everything apart on this side. I don't know what the heck is going on here, but every time I'm shifting, it's getting stuck or something. I don't know. It's very frustrating. Like right now, it's in 4th gear. Now let's see, it barely goes, and see it's supposed to get to, right now it's supposed to get to 4th gear right there, and it's not gonna get to 4th gear unless I like rotate the sprocket and then shift at the same time. Sometimes it'll get into 4th gear, sometimes it won't, and it just does that 5th, 4th, 3rd. First, neutral, and second is shifts fine, and it makes no sense why. Super frustrating. Wondering if I install the transmission wrong somehow, which doesn't make any sense, because it should go in pretty much one way. It is currently 2:45, and we're gonna see how long it'll take to get this whole engine torn back apart, because apparently that's what I gotta do. So yeah, the whole thing torn apart. 2:45. Let's get the timer going. I'll put you guys in time lapse. $2:59. So that took us about 14 minutes, maybe even less. It took me a minute to get everything set up. Not bad if you ask me. I've looked over everything and I see no issues with this transmission at all. Like, I don't know, there's just some confusing stuff, bro. So I'll try to put it back together. So everything seems to be working okay right now. I still gotta tighten some stuff up, put some sprockets, put the shifter on and everything like that to test it out one more time, but everything seems to be doing okay. My theory is these 2 bolts that go into the head, they basically align the head, and when I was taking the head back off, those were loose, and God's like, boy, you about to blow this whole engine up. So he caused a problem out of nothing. So I can take it all apart just to find those 2 loose bolts. Would have been nice if it was something in the head so I didn't have to split the cases, but you know what? It's not too bad doing it. I kind of got used to doing it, and I can do it pretty quickly now. Okay, let's test this out now. Neutral.
What?
See, this like... Why is it getting stuck? That's my problem right now. Better than before. I'm just gonna try putting it together and see. Sometimes it gets stuck, which is confusing. I'm not gonna bore you guys. I'm putting this part back together because you already saw it. I'm just gonna put everything back together and then we'll go from there. Alright, we got the bike all put together. We've had a lot of issues with shifting when the engine was taken apart. I don't know for sure if that's fixed, so we're just gonna go for a ride and see if we hear any weird noises or if it shifts weird. Alright, we're in neutral. Bike runs fine. First gear. Alright guys, after a lot of frustration, we have that bike fully put together. You guys saw the video. I was driving the bike, everything shifts smoothly, up and down. I don't really understand why it wasn't shifting well for me when the engine was like taken apart. Didn't really make sense to me, but it does now. So I don't know. Everything, I went in there twice as you guys saw, and I double checked everything. I measured everything. Everything is as it should. The only thing that wasn't the same size is if you can see, probably can't see in the back, but that shift rod that goes through the engine and hooks up to the shifter, like right here. The rod that goes through is a little shorter, so the shifter is in a little further, and this shifter was kind of bent into like up here, so I had to take it off and make it straighter and bend this up so that, you know, Peter gets to shift nicely. Everything runs as it should, pretty much to the whole top end, pretty much the whole bottom end, besides changing the parts like the crank and stuff like that, but the process is the same thing to do the whole thing. So now that that's finally done, we can go and have some fun. If you guys seen in our last video where we put a couch on this Piranha 140, well, this SDG has a very similar frame, so we're gonna put a couch on this too. So if you guys haven't seen that video yet, check it out for sure, because it's a really funny video. And I'll have the link up here. I'll have the link in the description if you guys can check it out. And once Peter gets back home from Arizona, we're gonna put a couch on that bad boy as well, and we're gonna go cruise around, gonna have fun, get some laughs, go downtown, gonna have a good time. So yeah, if this video has helped you guys with top and bottom end, then please consider hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends that can help anybody else out. The process that I do everything is not politically correct, if you will. These are techniques that I use, so use them at your own risk. I'm not a professional. I just try to help you guys out the best that I can with what I know, and as you can see from other videos, I get a lot of help from other people as well. So shout out to Joseph. I'm not gonna say your last name, Joseph S. I'll have his name up here, but he's been a lot of help with trying to help me figure out what is going on with this transmission. And in a lot of other videos, he's pretty knowledgeable on these, the Piranha 190, Daytona, the ZS or whatever. So yeah, he's helped me out a lot. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it a lot, and I appreciate every single one of you guys that comment on the videos, that interact, and that give me the help. So anyways, guys, you stuck around this far, thank you, and thanks for the support from everybody. I'll see you guys in the next video.